Ladies, gentlemen, and you beautiful in-betweens, hello and welcome back to Dyson's Rare Program. I'm Calmputer. Wait, where am I? There you are. Wow, that was actually kind of look cool. Yeah. That could be a thumbnail. Anyway, yes. Hello and welcome back to Dyson's Rare Program, as I've just said. Right, so I made a time-lapse and it was decent. I found a lot of problems with it, though. One of them was the quality of the actual video, and I'm going to put in a bit of a screenshot of what it looks like on my computer when I play it locally, and then I'm going to put in a screenshot of what it looks like on YouTube. That's the YouTube compression at work, and I don't know if there's actually anything I can do about it. Though it's only really the last section of the video that actually has all of the artifacting, so maybe it's salvageable. Don't really know, it's going to take a while to figure all of that out, but in the meantime, let's take a look at what I've done here. The actual sphere, which is not actually a sphere now that I think about it, gives me 64.8 gigawatts, which is plenty enough, for my needs at least. And when I made them, I don't think we can actually see that here, but basically, when I made them, all of them were in a line, and aligned with each other. Let's remove that now, and remove that too. And I don't know how long it would actually take for all of them to be aligned again. I'm guessing something like a week, maybe? It bothers me that a little bit that you can't actually set the speed that they orbit at. But well, it looks kind of cool, and looks even cooler right here. But the point of this beautiful spindle here is actually energy and nothing else. Also, well, yeah, I kind of want to try to do a time lapse, but the main point in terms of like gameplay was actually energy. So if we, wow, how can you be that fast? I'm sailing at 200 meters per second. Okay, maybe that's not a lot now that I think about it in like astronomical terms, but oh well. Superhero landing, right. So on each pole, we have a ton of these, I keep forgetting what they're called. Ray receivers, yes. I think either like energy receivers, energy exchangers, or yeah. And on this side, they're all using lenses, and I am not producing enough lenses. So I'm going to have to see to that at some point. But getting, hold on, 4.5 gigawatts, and that's with this section here, which I first made in order to make energetic not ions, photons. Critical photons. Energetic is used for graphite. Anyway. That still really bothers me. When I want to close this, press escape, doesn't happen. Also, if I do this and press escape, it closes that one. Not these two. Which is also annoying, but oh well. Muscle memory is hard to get rid of sometimes, but yeah, I have them all set up to actually deliver the photons here. But when I set that up and then turn it on, then these guys were not really enough all of a sudden. Right now they're powering at 45 megawatts, but that's only because not all of them are turned on, which is a problem, and we also have auto-saving on, finally. Actually, that probably doesn't make any sense to you. I turned off autosaving for the time lapse, otherwise I would have to edit the pauses out, which would have taken several hours, I think. So yeah, that was actually kind of worrisome. Let's remove that. Kind of made me scared, to be honest, to like completely turn off autosaving for 12 hours straight. Yeah, don't really want to do that again, but for time lapses you kind of have to. Anyway, when they're all turned on at the same time, I think this current power here was at about 12 megawatts, which is more than enough. And I've set up this like redundancy here, so this is the one that remote demands, and then it supplies to everyone else. So this is local demand, and this is local demand. Actually, that seems to be a remote demand too. Don't know if it should be, because these are actually like 3 lines each. Over there as well. And this is just the one for now. But yeah, might not want. Yeah, let's go with remote there. Storage. Also, like, how big does that look? How? Yes. Now, it's if we go to, I think main car is the one that is farthest away. 180k, 180k, everything. I'm concerned with that. Hold on. I need to see now. Yes, you too. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's actually producing like it should. That's concerning. But we have way more than enough. Something's odd there. Gonna have to check that out later. Now, one of the problems with these are that you want to create accumulators. You want to make them, which I'm doing right here. However, if you make too many, then you can actually starve the system, or like, let's say this one all of a sudden has full accumulators and all of the other places has full empty accumulators. And, like, there's this kind of balance you have to strike, where if you have too many, then it will actually stop the system from working. So as long as this one is empty, I am creating more of them here. So we're getting empty accumulators coming in, actually like so. And the way I have this loop set up here is if we, you don't have any, you have 318, let's go with that. Coming in here, so now, okay, that didn't last long. As long as this line is full, these are not creating anymore. Like, it can't actually put in more on the belt. But as long as it's empty, it keeps making them. And I think that's the ticket. It may not be the ticket to do it like this. Maybe... What happens if I do remote demand here? What happens? It's not asking for any. That's also concerning. Whereas you... Yeah, you would be asking for 10,000 if there were more to be had in the cluster. The fact that I have a ton of them here, though, bothers me. Oh, wait. Yeah, that's actually... Oh, I think I sussed it out here. If Mankar, let's say, and we're gonna go check later, if it doesn't have any power, then it can't actually tell... It can't... it can't charge the towers. So the towers can't actually shoot out logistics vessels to come pick these up. Oh boy. And as we already know from many episodes, this tower will try to send to only like 1 or 2 towers first. And you have only like... right, let's compromise. You're gonna start building up. Set you to 50. See what happens when you get 500. Oh. There we go. If you start sending people out, or vessels, they're not actually manned. It could be taking a while. Hold on. Hold the line. There we go. Kinda want to know where you're trying to go. Come on. Oh, right. Cancri. Probably. Possibly Simbe. Epsilon Volantis, maybe. Where is Menkar right now? It's right there. Don't know. Wow, you're fast though. Waste of a warper. Actually, exactly how fast are you traveling? The rotation period, 488 seconds to go around the star. I think orbital period is 2,628 seconds, though. Right. Anyway, yeah, there's some kinks to work out, probably. And I also need to set up, I think, not this side, but this side with graviton lenses. So that should all be good. Maybe spread out more of these around the entire planet. But for now, these are not actually working at full power. Actually, they are. Never mind. But if all of them work at the same time, they're not. That's the ticket. Right, so the time lapse, though. Other things I noticed was that using my mouse to look around was really janky. So I'm going to have to figure out a way to make fluid camera movement as I'm recording. And I think I'm going to have to use like joy to key and a gamepad. And then just create some kind of macro that means that if I turn the camera left, it moves incredibly slowly to the left. Not really sure if joy to key can do that necessarily. Or if I'm just going to have to say, okay, I'm tapping left, and that turns on a macro that starts turning left, maybe. Don't know. Other things, well, we've talked about the compression of YouTube, and movement. Oh, yes. The computer I'm recording the video on only has, well, only, for time lapses, it's only 1 terabyte hard drive. And the entire last section was 480 gigabytes. And like the hard drive has other stuff on it, so I kind of ran out of space. Same thing on my main computer. I had to delete basically every single game I had installed in order to get enough space to move the file over. And also to remux it, because when I recorded it's in MKV or Matroska file format. And in order to edit it, I need to turn it into MP4. And that means I have to make room for 2 files. But oh well. That's not really something you should be worried about unless you're making time lapses. And yeah, that last segment is 5.5 hours long. And I had to compress it into like 4 minutes. So, yeah, had to remove quite a bit of it. But it looks cool here. I kind of want to destroy it now. And then reload, but I'll wait with that until later. Now then, let's see, how's Menkar doing now? Alright, so it's using, but... it's getting a lot of it now. I need to go there. Menkar, let's go. Now let's see, which planet actually has something on it? I have no idea. No, probably not. Yes. Yes. In fact, we are at the perfect place. Yes, I just used you to reboot. Okay, so you're asking, and you have a couple, but you don't actually need anything. Wait, is this the only thing I'm doing here? Really? It is. Wow. I mean, yeah, these resources are kind of bare bone. So it does make sense, just kind of threw me for a loop there. Wait, what are you? Titanium, yeah. All of those for this. It makes a lot of sense that it wouldn't be actually requiring a lot of energy. So, yeah, okay. Funny. 500 might be a little bit, but much here. But that's all good then. Optical grading... Wait, what? Crystal vein, yes. Is for Casimir crystals. So you use those instead of titanium crystals, which requires organic crystals, which is something you can find as veins in the cluster. I still haven't, but theoretically you can. And then titanium. And to make these normally, you need like refined oil and water and plastics, which also needs refined oil, and yeah, it's a whole deal to make. Or you can use really limited resources like logs and leaves and whatever. But yeah, just using these, picking them up off of the ground is a lot easier. And you will also find that like 6 veins is pretty much the biggest you'll get, like the most you'll be able to pick up at the same time. So yeah, kind of a rare resource, but good to have if you can find it. Now then, where else do we need to go? We need to go to Cancri. Another thing I noticed in the time lapse, or I mean, it's pretty obvious if you look for it, is that in the middle of the time lapse, I stopped shooting rockets, even though the sphere's scaffolding wasn't actually done yet. And that's because Cancri 3, let's actually go to the proper, there we are, is the planet that is making small carrier rockets. And it had a complete and total blackout. which it shouldn't have, but it did for some reason. I mean, I have a Dyson sphere there, so it should have more than enough power, but apparently everything just kind of kicked into gear after a while and kaboom. So, yeah. I had to go fix that and then return. And, well, in the beginning of the time lapse, you see all of the rockets shooting at the same time. And that's actually why I called it Spindle. Because it kind of reminded me of, like, when all of the rockets shoot out and you get these negative spaces, shall we say, on top. And, oh, I kind of went a little bit too far there. On bottom, it kind of looks like they're legs, 4 legs on either side of the big, like, body of rockets. And it kind of reminded me a little bit of a spider. One of the big ones with a huge body. But yeah, and then all of the obvious ones like spindle axes, which is really what the actual, what should we call it, Dyson sphere reminded me of. So it was like this duality that I really liked. So spindle it was. Now then, yes, see here, we're making them. The problem is 10, well, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 600 per storage box. Yeah, it's not nearly enough of a buffer, shall we say. So I'm thinking I'm just gonna send them to a planet full of just stations so that I have a buffer and to use. But also feels like these are not enough. So I should probably dedicate a larger section of a planet to making these. And here we also see Dyson sphere components are a problem. And they're over here. And their problem is processors. Which is weird because I have dedicated an entire planet to making processors and the blue chips as well. There you are, quantum chips. Which uses processors, so that might be the problem. Let's see if I can remember which system that is. Arcade? No. Coordinate? No. Can't be there. Could be. I doubt it, though. No, it could be very much, because we do have the circuit boards, processors, quantum chips, and I should also have odd. I should have like copper ore, but not the ore, but the ingots should be there too. So maybe not. Genum? Nope. Ah, here we go. Yes. This is more like it. Because here we have iron ore, iron ingots, copper ingots, which make circuit boards, and then we have high purity silicon, which combines into the, let's see, yes, microcrystalline components that then come into processors together with more circuit boards. Yeah. What's... What would be the missing link here? Except maybe power. No, power's not the problem. Except, yes, it is. 4.5 gigawatts, and I'm only producing or discharging 2. Let's go there. So it turns out that my ranting ran kind of long, so I'm gonna split this episode into two, and then put a time lapse between them, and as a compensation, I'm gonna give you a slight sneak preview on what it's all about.